It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Dig, dig, dig. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Monty Dutton, Guest Gazette. Tony, no, you can take some getting used to. And when you have this new team, you know, there are times you're passionate, you hate to lose, you blow your top. And for the guys that work on the team that you've been with for 10 years, they know that the good times are better than the bad times.
Right.
But when you're hiring people for your new team, I just wondered what you go through anticipating who you can get along with.
Well, it's not, you know, we're not sitting there trying to figure out who we're going to hire just off the fact of who we can get along with. I think we can get along with just about anybody in the garage area nowadays. But you pick the people off of their work ethic, their passion, and you pick those people on not so much how they're going to work with me, but how they're going to work with each other. You know, they've got to work with each other. They're the ones that are in here at 6 o'clock in the morning and don't leave till 6 o'clock in the evening and have to be with each other all day. On a Friday like this, they only have to deal with me for an hour and a half. So, you know, for guys that have to work 12 hours with each other, it's more important they get along with each other. But, you know, the reason that we have the people that have been sending applications and that want to come work for us is because they understand my passion, they understand my drive and desire to be successful, and they know that's part of it. You know, nobody's got blinders in this garage area, so anything that's happened, they've all seen. So, you know, if they were worried about that, they wouldn't have signed up.
Tony, Brian Nelson with MRN Radio, and I know you've been down this path before, but looking forward to Daytona and with the shootout. And I know that, you know, with the new format, it looks like, you know, you're going to be on the outside of that. What are your feelings about that race in particular and the new format and being left out?
The only thing I'm really disappointed about is the fact that, you know, when we won it the first time, they said you'll always be in it, and then all of a sudden they say you're not in it. So I don't understand how they can tell you that 1 minute you're always going to be in it because you're a previous race winner of the shootout, and then all of a sudden it changes to where all of a sudden you're not in it. So, you know, that part's a little confusing to me, but, you know, you understand what it is. I mean, it's just like point structures or anything else. I mean, when you know what the structure is that gets you there, then that's what you work for. But, you know, when you were told one thing after you won the first one, and that we were going to be in for life, and then all of a sudden we're told that, well, we've changed it now. It's like, well, how can you change it when you said that this is the way it's going to be? So that part I don't understand.
Claire B. Lang, XM, and I'd like to get back to the Fiesta Bowl for our college sports channel. Naming guys like Charles Barkley and Tony Dorsett and Cal Ripken Jr. and Jerry Rice, what was your thought when you first heard, when you were first asked about doing this? And do you think it kind of puts a NASCAR guy on a higher level to be asked to do this?
Well, I hope so, but when we got invited to do this, obviously it was like, well, I'm slower, smaller, and fatter than all these guys. So the good thing is I can drive faster than they can. But, you know, it was obviously, it makes it a huge honor when you look at that list and you see the athletes that, you know, have had this honor of you know, being able to go out and be a part of the coin toss and be in the parade like that. So this is something that's a huge, huge honor for us, and something that, you know, we're already looking forward to it. I mean, this is something that's really special for us outside of what we do as a NASCAR driver.
Jennifer, AP, I ask you this question because I think of all the active drivers, you're probably most involved with the manufacturer and work is the closest, but General Motors today announced significant losses and said they may be out of cash in 2009. Have you felt anything in any of your programs? Is it business as usual? Do you have any concerns over where they're headed?
Well, your concerns are because you're passionate about the company, not because of what we would lose, you know, what we could lose, but more so we're passionate about General Motors. We're passionate about the Chevy brand, and we want them to be successful. That's why we're a part of it, obviously, and you know, we're passionate about it. It's why we're a part of it. So, you know, obviously the economy is bad right now, and everybody's suffering. The worst part to that is when you hear that there has to be layoffs, and you know it's not only affecting the companies, but it's affecting people on a more personal level. So that's the part that we worry about the most. obviously as a team owner, you have to worry about that too, because it trickles down to us also. If our funding goes away, then we have to lay people off. So you're always very concerned about it, but we haven't seen that effect so far with our programs, at either the open wheel level or the cup level right now.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. A lot of people are starting to lay off. You're hiring extra people. Can you talk about, where you stand with that, and where you stand with the second crew chief and a spotter for yourself for next season?
Yeah, it's kind of like going to a buffet all of a sudden. Which, easy, Monty. I know it's it's close to lunch, and I know we're sorry.
I was hoping you did that when I asked you a question.
I had to work it in off the second time, but I wasn't going to forget about you. But it is kind of like a buffet right now in all reality. I mean, you have so many people that are getting released from teams that it's all of a sudden there's this huge talent pool to choose from, and people that are trying to get jobs for next year. So the hard part is that we're in the big picture, the negative part is that we're in that situation to begin with. But for us as an organization, it's a positive for us right now. Of having a bigger selection of people. So, and it's not, the initial reaction would be and thought would be that, the people that are getting let go are weaker, lesser people. Some of these people that are being let go are guys that are really high up in organizations, and eliminating one person, in the pay scale that they're at is easier than letting 5 or 6 go at a lower level. So, there's some good people out there that are available now, and I think that could work to our benefit.
Crew chief, spotter?
I'm hoping to actually have a crew chief sign today, so we should be able to. I'm almost 99% positive we're going to have an announcement next week at Homestead on that, and a competition director at the same time. So, that's our goal for next week, if at all possible. But those are 2 positions that hopefully we're going to be able to have signed by the end of the day today.
Jay Hart, Yahoo Sports. Tony, I know still a little bit of 2 races left in the season, but when I ask you, who would you vote for if you had to vote for sort of driver of the year so far?
Honestly, I would pick David Reagan, and just from the standpoint that kid has impressed me so much from where he started in this series to where he has been at the end of the year this year. I think he's probably demonstrated the most growth and patience of any of the drivers out there. Obviously, if you have to pick off a performance, you got to throw 3 guys in the category, and that's Jimmy, Jeff, and Carl. So, or Jimmy and Kyle and Carl. I'm sorry. Those 3 obviously have had unbelievable seasons. Carl's had a great performance here in the last couple of weeks to help try to get himself back in a position to win the championship. Jimmy has been, his normal championship self and consistent, with the exception of a couple little hiccups here, has been consistent every week, and that's why he's won 2 years in a row. So Kyle's struggled in the championship side, but obviously what he's done all year, not only in the Sprint Cup side, but in the Nextel or in the Nationwide Series and the Truck Series, you can't overlook that. Even though he's had a poor performance in the chase, he's to have won 20 races in a season in NASCAR competition is very impressive. So those 3 are your obvious ones, but I think David Reagan deserves to be in that category too for his growth.